Let's talk about the number one Googled question about medical bills. Why is my medical bill so high? That's actually the number one question about medical bills that gets Googled, apparently. So let's talk about it. There's actually three top reasons why your medical bill is so high. Number one, it's not a real bill, meaning it doesn't have CPT codes. CPT codes are to medical services what barcodes are to products in a retail store. So it tells you what the actual service that you're being billed for is. So without the actual CPT code, you don't know what you're getting billed for. And the reason why this is important is because if it does not have a CPT code and it's just a general description, you could be paying for anything. And unfortunately, that's where the surprises, the upcharges hide. And often there's no such thing as some of the services that you get billed for. I'd say the overwhelming majority of the time, you can get rid of the foolishness, meaning the high bills, from just like made up services and made up prices by getting a real bill with CPT codes, meaning actual codes describing the services that you're being billed for. The reason why this is important, again, is that's where all the foolishness gets hid and the hidden upcharges and costs, the things that just don't make sense. A great example I like to give, a few years back, somebody on TikTok posted her bill that she got from having a baby, just a regular, normal, thank goodness, healthy, happy baby and mommy. And she got a bill for like almost $20,000. And the reason why it's hilarious is because it was a bill that just had basically three lines. First line, labor and delivery services, $19,275, something like that. Second line, skin to skin, $39.95. And the third line was the total of the two, so approximately like $20,000. And the reason why it's so hilarious is that obviously this was a made up bill, meaning it didn't have any CPT codes. And how did I know even without seeing the bill? Because skin to skin doesn't have a CPT code. That is not a thing. Skin to skin was where after the baby is immediately delivered, they put the baby on the mom's chest. That's what they were billing for the low, low price of $39.95. Like this is a TV commercial. But wait, there's more. You get to actually have your baby next to you as soon as it's delivered. Wow, what a concept. Oh my gosh. There's almost, I would say at this point, about 350,000 CPT codes for medical services that you can get in the United States. If this person had gone back and submitted a request and asked for a real bill, quote, something with CPT codes, unquote, or a UB04 form for the medical services I received in this date of service, that gets rid of a lot of this foolishness. Number two reason why your medical bill is so high is if you have insurance, they did not apply your insurance payments to the bill, meaning a UB04 form that gets sent from the provider to the insurance company. They forgot to send it, or it didn't get sent to the right insurance company, or they didn't think you had insurance for whatever reason. Check to make sure before you even think about paying a bill. It'll say something like insurance adjustment / payment / discount. But it doesn't say that. Get out your insurance card, turn it over, the customer service number on the back, call them and say, hey, did you get a claim or a bill from my provider for this date of service? If not, then you got to call back the billing department of the provider and say, hey, yeah, you never sent the claim to my insurance company and I can't pay this. Number three reason why your medical bill is high is if you don't have insurance, meaning you're paying cash or you're choosing to pay cash. Don't let a provider's office tell you have to use your insurance. No, you don't. You don't have to. Let's just say you choose not to use your insurance because you realize you're not going to hit your deductible and it's just cheaper for you to negotiate, or you don't have insurance at all and you really do need to negotiate your medical bill. If you don't have insurance, that means that nobody negotiated a discount for you on your behalf. So number three reason why, if you don't have insurance, your bill is high because it hasn't been negotiated for you. When a provider goes to an insurance company and says, hey, yeah, we'd love to join your panel because you have millions of patients that can be part of our potential patient population, we have these big charges that we usually charge for our medical services. But for you, for having access to your members, we're going to charge you the low rate of whatever. So I use this example a lot. The ratios seem outrageous, but they're really, unfortunately, very common. So let's say in our hypothetical example, your provider charges $100 for the service for which you're being charged. But at typical insurance company pays about $10 for that service. Being part of that insurance company, that means you're a member of that insurance company. As a member, they'll say, okay, yeah, we'll pay you $10 for that. Well, if you don't have insurance, nobody's done that negotiation for you. So someone else who has this insurance will get a bill for $10, meaning their insurance will pay $10 for that in our hypothetical example. If you don't have insurance, you're going to see that full freight $100. That's why your bill is so high when you don't have insurance. So what are you going to do? You're going to automatically negotiate your bill to the most fair price without really negotiating, meaning you're paying cash. So number one, we talked about the very beginning, always get a real bill first. By the way, please don't call and ask for an itemized bill. They'll more than happy to give it to you. And it'll be like detailed bill or itemized or itemization. And there still won't be any CPT codes on it. You have to ask for something with CPT codes, please. Once you get that, you're going to take each of those CPT codes and make sure it sounds like the services you received, and most importantly, what the fair rate is for each of those services. And that's always the Medicare rate. That means the federal government has negotiated the most fair rate that they will pay that they've determined is fair. So yes, if you're over 65 and or not covered by insurance from an employer, or if you're young and you have certain chronic medical conditions, that's what Medicare is. The federal government has negotiated these rates as what they're going to pay for each of those services. Second step, you're going to do I used to say do a Google search, but instead of doing an online search, do an AI search in your favorite AI platform, whether it's ChatGPT or Perplexity, whatever you like to use. We recommend that you use medicalbillrelief.com, upload your bill, and up will pop the CPT codes or description of the services you received and the fair rate for those services. And that is our tool in Medical Bill Relief. We've designed specifically so that it pops up quickly with an AI search, and it has the most fair rate without you having to bop around and search for another question. It gets done automatically. Just upload your bill. Now, a lot of people who do this work, meaning patient advocate work or help with medical bills, we say, well, we maybe want to offer 2 times the Medicare rate instead of the Medicare rate as being a fair rate because it's so low. That's what many providers say. It's really low. Okay, so in medicalbillrelief.com, the upload tool, it actually has 2 times the Medicare rate that pops up. So it is more than fair than generous, but the lowest price that providers in this country will accept for medical services. Now, once you do this search, by the way, don't tell the customer service rep or the folks you're talking to, this is a fair Medicare rate. No, why would you tell them that? Number one, what if they don't accept Medicare? Number two, you don't have Medicare, but you don't have to have Medicare not to be overcharged. So that's what you're going to do in step 3. You're going to take your new total, the Medicare rates that you figured out from the CPT codes that you received in a real bill, get the Medicare rates for each of those, or fair rate for each of those CPT codes, total it up. In step 3, you're going to call back the provider in the billing department and say, hey, yeah, in my hypothetical example, yeah, you know that bill I got for $10,000 for that emergency surgery I had to have? In my case, I am willing and able to pay $3,000. Who can I speak with who can help me make a payment plan? Now, you're going to get pushback. Some people say that they've been laughed at when they call and say, hey, I need to negotiate. I need to talk with a billing person and I need help with talking about my bill. Stick to your guns. They can say, well, we don't give discounts. Okay, well, I can't pay this. This is out of my budget. Who can I speak with to talk about making a payment plan? The other thing is that if the bill is from a hospital stay, call and ask the billing department before you do these 3 steps of the only right way to pay a medical bill. Say, hey, yeah, I need to fill out an application for your charity care or financial aid or financial assistance. Every hospital is different, but they all have some sort of what I call sliding scale income-based discounts that they offer their patients. Now, some are much more generous than others. Some are really stingy. Some are like just basically non-existent. They're like, yeah, we only offer charity care or financial aid or financial assistance applications for those who don't have insurance. Others will say, well, we're only doing that for emergency visits. Some won't, but many will. So it pays to ask. And don't think because your income is really high that you're not going to qualify. Yeah, you usually don't qualify for things when your income is really high, but sometimes your medical bill is so high compared to what your income is that the more generous hospitals, according to their formulas, you qualify for a discount. And sometimes it sounds crazy, but sometimes the whole bill is wiped away, depending on how big the bill is and what your income is, the ratio. So there you go. Why is my medical bill so high? Those are the top 3 reasons and what you can do about it. You can get those bills lower. For more support, go to medicalbillrelief.com.